Alongside the presentation of awards, the event will feature performances from local artists and speeches from some key figures in Barnet. I encourage everyone, if you can, to turn your cameras on and join in the celebrations by clapping for our winners and congratulating them via the chat function. To keep the night running smoothly, we ask that you keep your mics turned off, unless asked by me, of course, to unmute them. I suggest that you put your screen into speaker mode so that you can focus on the various speakers and performers. The ceremony will run for around an hour, and then there will be a chance to network in breakout groups. So I'm now going to hand over to Cllr Alexander, former chair of the Barnet Multi-Faith Forum, a lay minister in the Church of England and an employee of Middlesex University, to offer a faith message. So Trevor, over to you.
Greetings and good evening to you all. I've heard it said that diversity is like being invited to a party. It's very exciting, but inclusion is being asked to dance. Well, I like that and I hope you do too. Of course, diversity is about recognizing that we are all different. We look different, we eat different foods, speak different languages, and have different faiths and beliefs. And it wasn't so long ago that the main focus of diversity was promoting tolerance, particularly with regard to faith and belief. Well, fortunately, as a community, we've grown. We don't just tolerate our differences anymore. We now value, embrace, and celebrate them. And of course, this is so important because as people of faith and belief, we are challenged, if not commanded, to love and serve one another. And we can best love and serve one another when we see God in others, particularly when the other doesn't share the same background, faith, or belief. We are created in the likeness of God. God's image is within us, and we all fundamentally share in our common humanity. So when we love and serve one another, we love and serve God. And in this way, we dance together. The nominations and awards this evening are a celebration of how we have been dancing together, and what a joyful, rich, colourful and vibrant dance it is. Peace be with you all. Amen.
Thank you, Trevor, for that wonderful speech. It gives me great pleasure to now introduce the current chair of the Barnet Multi-Faith Forum, David Cllr, to offer some welcoming words.
Thank you very much, Proper. And thank you very much, Trevor, for that faith welcome message. Good evening, everybody, and great to see so many of you here this evening. I'd like to welcome the Deputy Lord Lieutenant of Barnet, Mr. Martin Russell, the Worshipful, the Mayor of the London of Barnet, Cllr Alison Cornelius, and to all of you who are attending this evening to this, our first Barnet Faith and Belief Awards. Community plays an essential part in the lives and well-being of many in Barnet. Over the last 2 years, we've experienced the positive impact of local community groups and charities in what has been an incredibly challenging time. With the Faith and Belief Forum, we decided to create the Barnet Faith and Belief Awards to shine a light on the incredible contributions inspired by faith made by individuals and organisations which have all made such a difference to people's lives. We've been amazed by the variety of entries in the award categories and look forward to recognising their achievements and celebrating the winners this evening. I want to thank the Faith and Belief Forum, supported by Dangoor Education and Her Majesty's Lord Lieutenant of Greater London Council of Faith, and Middlesex University for all of their support in making this possible, and also wish to thank the Barnet Group for generously providing the prize awards for the winners. Thank you to our judging panel, chaired by Professor Nick Beach, Vice-Chancellor of Middlesex University. And as the awards are announced, we're going to learn a little bit more from the judges about the winners and the categories. This is our first year of the awards, and we hope that this is the first of many to come. And I want to thank everybody for entering. Good luck as we go forward and congratulations to the deserving winners and runners-up. Now, what I'd like to do is introduce you to the Mayor of Barnet, Cllr Alison Cornelius, and I'm not sure that I've seen Alison arrive. Is Alison with us?
Hi, David. Unfortunately, Alison's having trouble getting into the meeting, so we're liaising with her, and hopefully she'll be able to join us in a little while.
Okay, great. So I'll hand back to Proper, and we can bring Alison back in later on when she's back into the meeting. So over to you, Proper. Thank you.
Thank you very much, David. So I'm sure the Mayor of Barnet will join us shortly. So in the meantime, let's begin to meet these inspirational projects that we have been talking about. Tonight, we will be celebrating a range of amazing projects under 5 different categories because we received an amazing number of nominations, and our judging panel had the pleasure of reading about important and groundbreaking community work that goes on in our borough. So everyone recognised does amazing work, and tonight is about celebrating that. I'm also excited to announce that due to the generous donation from Barnet Group, we will be awarding the overall winner of each category with £250 to go towards their work. I'm delighted to welcome to the stage, the virtual stage, Nick Beach, the Vice-Chancellor of Middlesex University, who is also the chair of the judging panel, who will start the awards presentation.
Thanks very much, Proper, and it's absolutely lovely and a complete privilege to be here. And I have to say it feels so much like home to be with everybody tonight. And I say that as probably a relatively small minority in this forum as a Scottish Presbyterian. I'm not sure how many of us there are in this group, but we're going to grow. The awards were just fabulous, and again, we enjoyed reading of the wonderful work that's been going on, and it was a really set of moving stories and so hard for us to choose. But we had to in the end. And so what we've done is we looked at all of the work that was going on and ranked them independently. And then we came together in a meeting to consider each of the cases and then to come out with a winner and an order of that sort. So you'll see that there's a number of runners up in each prize area and then one winner. The judges, who it was again wonderful to work with, were Cllr Alai, who is Director of the Spiritual Assembly of the Baha'i, Councillor Caroline Stork, Deputy Lord Lieutenant Martin Russell, Tim Blank, Head of Community Engagement, Proper Anwar, Vice Chair of the Multi-Faith Forum, and Malcolm Debo, Zoroastrian Trust Fund of Europe. And I am going to be announcing the health and well-being category, and then each of the other categories will be announced by other members of the judging panel. And so the shortlisted examples in health and well-being were as follows. Deba Chuan and the Burnt Oak Community Food Bank, and they had helped over 10,500 people to date by providing food, support and friendship to those in need in the Burnt Oak community. Secondly, Caritas St. Joseph's, who have for over 40 years provided a safe place for adults with intellectual disabilities so that they can learn, recognize their gifts and talents and value their unique place in the world. Thirdly, Barnet Multicultural Community Centre, and this is a community hub right in the heart of Hendon that provides facilities for health, social care and recreation for 500 people a year, and in particular for the vulnerable and for the elderly. And the last candidate in this shortlist is ZTFE, Senior Citizens Home Care Project, caring for the Zoroastrian community, and they provide transport, activities, companionship for the elderly within that community. Now, when we were looking at the cases, we were really interested in the way that they brought in multi-faith, the way that they made a real difference in the world, and the way that that difference had happened over a period of time. And for those that didn't make it onto the shortlist, all of them, we thought were doing wonderful work. In many cases, they probably just need a little bit longer to grow a little bit more, and then they would certainly make the list. So for those of you not on the short list, I hope you're not discouraged and you do try again next year. But we had to pick a winner, and we were unanimous in thinking that the winner this year for the Health and Wellbeing Award is the Burnt Oak Community Food Bank.
So massive round of applause for the Burnt Oak Community Food Bank. And I would like to welcome a representative from the Burnt Oak Community Food Bank to share with us a few words of how they're feeling upon receiving this award today.
Wow, I hope you can all hear me, and I just want to say thank you so very, very much. What started off as a pilot scheme and was only going to last for 4 weeks, it's just been phenomenal, and I couldn't have achieved this without my amazing team of volunteers and obviously, you know, friends and family. Burnt Oak Community Food Bank it's a community food bank where people who access the food bank want to come back and give back to society, and I'm just so touched and I'm absolutely speechless. So thank you ever so much. We're going to be going into our first year in March, and we anticipate serving and feeding a lot more people across the borough. And what's so beautiful about Barnet is it's a wonderful connection, a community of different multi-faiths, and we do work very, very closely with all minorities. So this award is really just not for me, it's for all our all our volunteers and our amazing guys within Barnet Food Hub, within Barnet Council, and just so many people, and I'm just really touched. So thank you so very, very much.
You're welcome. It's our absolute pleasure to hear from you. So thank you very much. And we're now going to be hearing from Jalali, who is a leader in the Baha'i community, who will be introducing our next category, which is environmental sustainability.
Jale, you are still muted. We can't hear you. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Cllr Alison, and I am one of the judges for tonight. It gives me great pleasure to be here tonight because of a fantastic idea which our hosts have raised to recognize the works done by different groups of people who have tried so hard to improve the life of the members of the community, especially during the last 2 years of pandemic. I am announcing the projects recognized in the environmental sustainability category. Climate change is the most urgent challenge facing humanity. Many groups work to inspire behavioral change, educate others on the issues, and take practical action to tackle climate change. There are 2 shortlisted projects in this category. 1, MTO Shah Maksudi, a school of Islamic Sufism, who distributed over 353 whips to local communities and schools to raise awareness of our crucial role in acting against climate crisis by increasing the green space. 2, Belarusian Church and Cultural Center in North Finchley, who built an old timber chapel for Belarusian Catholic mission of Byzantine right in December 2016 as a memorial to the victim of Chernobyl. I am delighted to announce that the winner of this category is MTO Shah Maksudi, School of Islamic Sufism.
Big round of applause for the MTO Sustainability Project. It gives me great pleasure to be able to welcome the next representative. So, of course, from the MTO Sustainability Project, we'd love to hear from you.
Good evening, everyone. I have to say I'm speechless. Did not anticipate us to actually be the winner of this project. I just wanted to say, firstly, we are so grateful for all the various projects that brings about all the different faith groups together. As the opening words really resonated within, I'm sure most of us, if not all, the image of God created can be seen everywhere. So our project is really very much based on the principles of Sufism, because in Sufism it's all about balance and tranquility, and ensuring that each individual is within that balance and tranquility, both inwardly and outwardly. So our environment is one of the most important things for us. I think we are really pleased to receive this award for sure, and I am really grateful for the opportunity to take part in this event. Thank you.
Thank you. It's our pleasure to be able to share the stage with you. So I think it's an opportunity for us now to hear our first performance. We've got lots of performances lined up, in fact, a variety of performers from different faith backgrounds. They're all local. So the first performer who I would like to welcome to the stage is a very good friend of mine. His name is Siddiq Islam. He's currently studying mathematics at the University of Oxford, but his main talent, I would say, is that he's an accomplished poet. He's a published poet, and the poem that he's sharing with us today is a poem about diversity. It's called White Shirt, and it's telling us about how the whole spectrum could be our future. So that's just a little line I've stolen from his poem, but I hope you enjoy his performance.
I'm Siddiq Islam, and my poem is called White Shirt. This is my white shirt, and in a sense it represents innocence, like a child's mind, because with diligence I keep it from creases and crinkles. It's my vigilance that keeps it from sprays and sprinkles of ink coming my way, or drinks from a buffet table buffeting from the tray. I think that in a way, although with an sureness, the shirt defines pureness, blazing the white onto your corneas. It's clean because I washed it, it's crisp like a what's-it. See, this shirt, I like it, but it's not green or violet, not even grey or lilac, just plain, not vibrant. And as a child I'm stifled into these clothes and lifestyle I hadn't chosen, I didn't buy, I didn't fight or vie for. Who would be losing if we wore the hues of our own choosing? We could be schooled whilst using clothes with colours outwards oozing. It could be blue, or cooler, purple stripes diffusing fuchsia. It's not confusing people, the whole spectrum could be our future. These clothes the school has shown us, this cloth becomes my onus in their attempt to make us grown-ups. But though they endorse individuality, the unfortunate reality is that this enforced formality causes a calamity. Seemingly courteous, this restriction is curt. How can we all be different if we wear the same shirt? Maybe your brains have been converted by the thoughts which are spontaneously spurting from my cranium. It's hurting just containing them. Their aims are disconcerting. Making us all the same is dirty, even if we're all in glistening uniforms. Listen in, you can sort of hear the pitter-pattering of grey matter shattering as it hits the clay we're standing in. Pretend it's not, but it's happening. Brains splattering, pink remains scattering in spatters across the floor. What are they sapping of personalities for? It's saddening. They control at every gathering, at every thought. It's maddening. Think about it. An office full of thousands of men, all wearing the same trousers, and then their shirts are, yes, you guessed it, all the same. They've all just accepted the suggested expressionist mess. Every day is spent intensively learning and then earning when they've graduated from their white shirt to their white collar. But these lonely clones would be phoning home if my clothes were rogue. I can't deny the dye that's in my genes, it's in my chromosomes. And every day I'm growing older until I'm only bones. Every day I'm growing farther from my father and farther from my past. I'm just trying to blast all the shards out from my heart, so I'm looking for the resonant frequency of the glass, and also for the answer to the question that is cast. Where will I be at the end of the day, and what will I have achieved when I'm dead in the grave? Long to believe will last forever, but nay, eventually my white shirt will ever be grey.
Thank you to Sadiq, and I can see some virtual rounds of applause, which I think are very well deserved for Sadiq. He's a great friend of mine and very talented poet, as we just saw. So thank you for that very moving poem, Sadiq. I can see that the Mayor is with us, and we are very honoured to be in your presence today. So I'd love to welcome the Mayor of Barnet, Alison Cornelius, to give us her welcoming speech.
Thank you very much, and I'm absolutely honoured and delighted to have been asked to give the welcoming speech today at this inaugural Faith and Belief Awards hosted by Barnet Multi-Faith Forum, the Faith and Belief Forum, and also Middlesex University. The purpose of the awards is to celebrate inspirational faith-based and community organisations who work at the grassroots community level to improve the lives of residents living in Barnet. And as we all know, this work often goes unrecognised, although it makes such a difference to those on the receiving end. And I'm delighted that these awards are aimed at acknowledging and thanking these particular groups. Tonight is an evening of celebration. All those who have been shortlisted, as well as the winners of the various awards, should be extremely proud. As Mayor, I've had the privilege of visiting so many people across the borough who've contributed so much, not only during the COVID pandemic, but also over many years. The number of volunteers across the entire borough never ceases to amaze me, and we are so fortunate to have so many people who are prepared to give their time so freely. May I express my personal gratitude and appreciation to everybody attending these awards, and also to thank you on behalf of the residents of Barnet as well. My thanks should also go to the organisers of this event who have made tonight possible. So I hope you all enjoy the rest of the evening, and I'm so sorry that we're meeting, obviously via Zoom, so that I'm not able to thank you in person. But many congratulations again on all your achievements, and I look forward to being with you for the remainder of the award ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you very much to the Mayor of the London Borough of Barnet. We really appreciate your kind words, and I think that really spurs us on to do any future work that we do end up doing. The next guest who I would love to welcome is the DL, the Deputy Lieutenant of Barnet, Martin Russell, who is going to be announcing the category of Inspiring Youth. So myself being a young person and having lived in Barnet my whole life, I'm very excited for this upcoming category. So welcome Martin Russell, DL.
Well, Madam Mayor, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. As you've heard, my name is Martin Russell, and I'm the representative Deputy Lieutenant, which means that as Majesty the Queen's representative, I'm quite independent and I have no axe to grind of any sort. I'm an ideal judge. I think I've been in post for many years and therefore feel very well placed to assess the impact of voluntary organizations over time. It was fascinating being a judge at the inaugural Faith and Beliefs Awards. I thank Barnet Multi-Faith Forum and indeed the Faith and Belief Forum, with whom I've worked for a number of years with the Lieutenancy, for their inspired commitment. It seems particularly appropriate that the first awards are held during the year in which the Council has re-signed the Faith Covenant. And this new award scheme provides encouragement and worthy publicity to the excellent work prompted by faith and belief groups and carried out voluntarily by so many in this very cosmopolitan borough. I'm to name those considered in the Inspiring Youth category. Young people from minority backgrounds can be overlooked and may feel marginalized, undervalued, and excluded from life in general, but civic life in particular. Projects working with such young people can develop leadership skills and will encourage participation in their local community. Such projects may also connect them with opportunities beyond their immediate neighborhood, so they're worthy and laudable. The judges considered on a shortlist 4 candidates. Firstly, Stand Up, Education Against Discrimination. This is a group that provides anti-discrimination education, fairly obviously, with a specific focus on anti-Semitism and anti-Muslim hatred. And it's aimed at young people in mainstream schools. The second shortlisted candidate was called Our Second Home. They host residential programs and year-round activities for young refugees. They aim to create a safe communal space that enables them to teach leadership skills and to spark ideas. Thirdly, we considered the Baha'i community of Barnet. They provide classes and activities for young people and encourage their own youth to offer their time and services to help local communities. And finally, we thought about an individual, Ishan Shah. Ishan, spectacularly, is an 18-year-old founder of an enterprise called Stolen Dreams, which is an organization which works globally with stakeholders, including governments, with civil society, and with youth, to combat modern slavery and human trafficking. We gave each of those 4 deep consideration. And on a very narrow judgment, highly contested category, we looked at the length and extent of the impact of what they do, and we considered the number of participants and beneficiaries of the work of the charities. And we decided that our prize would go to the Baha'i community of Barnet. Hearty congratulations to them and to all others who were nominated.
Congratulations to the Baha'i community of Barnet. I would now like to invite a representative from the Baha'i community of Barnet to take a minute and tell us about your experience of receiving the award today.
Thank you very much. This is amazing. I would just first like to thank the organizer for this beautiful award event. Sorry, it's just so nice to have us all together celebrating diversity. And I'm also very happy to receive this award on behalf of the Baha'i Barnet community for this category. If I may share with you a quote from Baha'u'llah, the Prophet, founder of the Baha'i Faith. It says, "Regard man as a mine rich in gems of inestimable value. Education can alone cause it to reveal its treasures and enable mankind to benefit therefrom." So based on this belief, the Baha'i give a lot of weight and importance on the spiritual education of children and youth, which involve cultivating in them the spiritual qualities such as love, forgiveness, justice, for example. And we're really, really grateful that providing this service, so this spiritual education to children and youth of all background and all religious belief has led to your acknowledgement tonight. So thank you very much for that.
Congratulations once again. And again, I can say, being a young person, I really appreciate everything that the Baha'i community of Barnet is doing. And of course, all the finalists and all the nominees who work for young people as well. Big thank you to all of you. So I'd now like to welcome Tim Mulvenner to the stage to announce the projects recognised for the next category, which is interfaith relations.
Hello, good evening. My name is Tim Mulvenner. I'm the Chief Exec of the Barnet Group. We manage the council's housing, provide care and support services, as well as a number of other services across Barnet. And we're really delighted to be able to support these fantastic awards tonight. It's fantastic to be here today with so much doom and gloom in the world and in the news. It's really fantastic to be supporting something so positive. I'm here to announce the projects recognised in the interfaith relations category. Local neighbourhoods are multi-faith spaces where people with different faiths and beliefs share the same public spaces and services. Projects within this category build bridges across communities and create hubs that are open to all. There were 4 shortlisted projects in this category, and deciding between them was incredibly difficult. So the 4 were Cllr's Jump Befriending Project, a befriending project training and matching adult volunteer befrienders with young refugees and asylum seekers who come to the UK without a family. The second shortlisted project was Barnet Women's Interfaith Network. This is a group of women from different backgrounds who come together to engage in meaningful dialogue, learn from each other, and collectively build a more tolerant and inclusive society. The third shortlisted candidate was Together in Barnet, a night shelter hosted at a range of multi-faith community buildings that has been successfully supporting people experiencing homelessness for over 17 years. And the final shortlisted project was Alith Refugee Choir, a monthly choir, currently Jewish-led, that meets in a church and comprises around 30 refugees from all faiths, and it's all voluntary. And so to the winner. The winner of this category was chosen due to the longevity of its work and its successful collaboration between faith groups. I'm delighted to announce the winner today is Together in Barnet.
Big round of applause to Together in Barnet. They have a great website worth checking out, as with all of the projects. In fact, we've got a brochure that features all of the projects and the work that they're doing, which will be emailed round to you all shortly. So definitely worth checking out the work of our wonderful award winners. So let's have someone from Together in Barnet to tell us about your feelings today.
Hi everyone. Well, first of all, thank you so much on behalf of everyone at Together in Barnet and the people we support. My name's Amanda. I am the operations manager and I'm one of only 2 members of staff that we have. Together in Barnet relies so heavily on the incredible community we have here in Barnet, the churches, synagogues, mosques who traditionally host our night shelter and who have been all throughout the pandemic making sure that our vital work of supporting people with emergency accommodation and food support continues. So I think all it is to say is just to say thank you so much again, and this really is a testament to all of the hard work over the years and the community that we have here in Barnet. So thank you so much.
Thank you for being here today and thank you for sharing such wonderful words. All of the award winners that we're having are very inspiring, and of course the nominees and finalists, everyone is very inspiring. But I think it's time for another break, another performance. We've so far had a poem, so let's have an instrumental next, and the next performer is equally exciting. He is a good friend of mine named Sebastian Skelly, goes by Seb Skelly. He has been playing the trumpet since he was 7 and has played in all the Barnet orchestras and bands and everything. He's now touring around Europe. He's played in Glastonbury. He's amazing, and the song that he's going to be doing or covering is You Raise Me Up, because I think the faith communities, they're like the backbone of our society. If we think about the amount of gratitude we need to show them, this is a really good way of doing that. So he's going to be performing You Raise Me Up for us. So over to Seb. Wow, I always get emotional watching my friends and just simply how talented they are, and I think that's a really fitting tribute for tonight's awards event, because it's like a way that we can express gratitude to everyone that's in our borough doing amazing things for our borough, for people of all ages and all backgrounds. So the next person that I would like to welcome is another very special person. It's the former Mayor of Barnet, Councillor Caroline Stock, who is going to be introducing the next set of awards, or finalists rather, for the COVID-19 pandemic category, so in response to the pandemic. So I'd love to welcome the former Mayor of Barnet.
Thank you very, very much indeed. I'm not able to see everyone, but I would just say, first of all, thank you very, very much indeed. It was a great pleasure being part of the judging panel. It's got a different name for me, but my name is Caroline Stock, and I'm one of the Barnet councillors. I have the great privilege of being the chairman of the Barnet Health and Wellbeing Board, and it really is a pleasure to be here tonight. I'm going to announce the projects recognised in the Outstanding Initiative in Response to COVID-19 Pandemic category. And as we know, the global pandemic of COVID-19 has had an unprecedented impact on our lives. Projects within this category quickly adapted their services and through their swift innovation, created new projects with a focus on the common goal of assisting those affected by the pandemic. And sadly, the pandemic has really affected all of us. And after 2 years, I know that all of us are aware of someone who's either suffered some illness from it. And I've got a friend of mine at the moment who's got a heart condition because it was long COVID. And unfortunately, we also know someone who's died. I have worked closely with the Director of Public Health, Dr. Tamara Juretic. And it was clear from the beginning that COVID has no borough borders and no country borders. And we've all had to come together to help one another through this exceptional time. And it's a time that will historically, I know, be phenomenally significant. Like we talk about the Spanish flu, I mean, people are going to know about this for generations to come. So for me, this category is very important, where we can recognise those individuals and organisations that have truly made a difference. Now, there are 4 shortlisted projects in this category. The first was the Romanian Food Bank, the RCCT, who have set up a food bank for those in their community who had lost their jobs and provided further support through translation and awareness, raising the issues of new COVID and their policies. The next one was the Paperweight Trust, who helps those who are struggling with multiple and complex issues, including applying for welfare and benefits, divorce, sorting out wills and probate, and trying to cope with the fallout from physical and mental health. The need for work only increased during the pandemic. And Together in Barnet, who is actually, I probably shouldn't ever say anything, but I have actually worked with, so Together in Barnet, who've won an award, but they opened their doors for the shelter as COVID secure hotel projects and worked with guests to find permanent housing. And finally, the last one of the shortlist is the Near Neighbours West London Connected series, and they set up a series of Zoom calls to explore how to keep connections between different communities whilst we couldn't meet physically, and learn how to be sustained spiritually and emotionally through these times of isolation and concern. So I almost need a trumpet. Da, 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 da. I'm now very happy to announce that the winner of this category is, and I need one of those big envelopes, the Paperweight Trust.
Congratulations to the Paperweight Trust. That was a very energetic announcement and a very good trumpet impression too. I'm sure my friend Seb would be delighted at your trumpet impression. So I would love to now invite a representative from the Paperweight Trust to take a minute to tell us something about their project.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Wow, thank you so much. That's really unbelievable and very, very unexpected. I would firstly like to thank the organisers, the committee, the trustees, the Barnet Multi-Faith Forum, firstly for all their hard work, for arranging this evening's awards, and of course for recognising the work of Paperweight and our contributions to the welfare of the residents in Barnet. I'm of course merely a voice piece for the organisation. I'm so proud to be the chair of, and accepting this award on behalf of Paperweight. Most importantly, this is really due to all our professionals, all our volunteers who work so hard and so diligently to achieve the best results for our clients, and particularly so during the corona pandemic period. There are very many vulnerable people who are alone, be it through bereavement, divorce, illness, or so many other reasons. And we are so pleased that our volunteer caseworkers can help to make a difference in their lives, be it with bureaucracy, administration, debts, welfare, benefits, paperwork, legal, and so much more. So really, thank you all so much. This award is very, very much appreciated on behalf of all our volunteers. Thank you.
We really appreciate your work, and a big round of applause once again. We do actually have one final special commendation to make. So if Councillor Caroline Stock is here, I'd love to welcome her back onto the stage to announce the special commendation winner.
Fantastic. I shall now walk onto the stage. I would like to announce a special commendation award. Now, this was an award that I think we felt when we went through, look, the pandemic has affected all of us in different ways, and many organisations have come together and done amazing things. But I think there had to be a special award for this. It's the Shri, and please forgive me if I say it wrong. It's the Swamin Aranam Mandir in Kingsbury. And it's a temple that I have thankfully had the privilege of visiting, and they have been selected by the judges for a special award because their incredible contribution, not only really at the grassroots, but also at the community level. Now, they were the first mandir in the UK to open up as a COVID vaccination centre. They often opened early in the morning, and I do know that because I know someone that actually rang them at 10:30 at night, and they were able to book an appointment and managed to get immunised with their vaccination centres. And anyone that went along to the vaccination centre would have been overwhelmed by the scale and the organisation and the kindness that was offered to them. Very importantly, the community sent out messages that everything known about the vaccine was safe, and they dispelled all the inaccuracies that social media and the fake news spread. And I'm not sure there are any words, because this is one of the things at the very beginning that meant so much, that a community grasped what the problem was and started to do something about it. Rather than sitting back, they actually did something. And I know that the actions that they took quite clearly saved lives. So I'm also aware of the other projects they've done, the food distribution at the time, and I know they have their blood donation project and many other projects that make it worthy for this very special commendation that I'm very glad and very privileged to be giving. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Stock, for that announcement. I would like to welcome a representative from the Kingsbury Mandir to share a few words with us.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, Deputy Lieutenant, my community brothers and sisters, because we're all here as one family. On behalf of Sri Swaminarayan Mandir Kingsbury, I'm really honoured to be thanking the Barnet Multi-Faith Forum for this first Faith and Belief Award. Our Mandir is right on the border of Brent and Barnet and serves communities of both boroughs and beyond. And we, the Mandir community, we're extremely proud to have exactly 12 months ago, on the 28th of January 2021, to have opened the doors to the Mandir Hall, which had been transformed to being the world's first Hindu temple around the world to have become a vaccination centre. And key to this was that the vaccination centre was being set up in loving memory of our worldwide spiritual leader, Acharya Swami Sri Maharaj, who passed away in 2020, and who was the inspiration behind the Kingsbury Mandir, which has also been acclaimed as being the world's first eco-friendly temple. And so there's a lot of firsts to be proud of. And this key community effect was really part of the Mandir's ongoing charity and community work, and it's all in following with Acharya Swami Sri Maharaj's tenet of society before self. As was just mentioned, at the time when we opened up the vaccination centre, there was a lot of hesitancy in the community to take up these new vaccines. Being able to demonstrate the backing from this kind of spiritual organization was key in allaying fears from the Hindu and the wider communities. And over the time that the vaccination centre was open, we had over 40,000 people who came to the centre and were vaccinated. And what I can personally remember is after taking the vaccinations, the outpouring of emotion from the people as they took this vaccine. Many of these people hadn't left their houses for many, many months. And as they took the vaccine and they sat there and they waited before they were allowed to leave the hall, and they realized what a life transforming moment they were going through right then. And they were openly weeping, some of them. But what they did is that they took comfort that this life-changing moment was occurring at a place of worship, regardless of who they worshipped or how they worshipped. That wasn't relevant, but it was a place of worship. And yeah, as was just mentioned, through the pandemic, the Mandir also collected donations for local food banks, delivered essential and hot meals to the NHS frontline staff and those in need, and continued to hold the blood donation sessions. And you know, these were all essential services during the coronavirus crisis. So yeah, so lastly, I want to thank the doctors, the medical staff, and the 700 plus volunteers from the temple and the wider community who came together in this time of need and made it all possible. And thank you all for this award. Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, I know numbers aren't everything, but 700 plus volunteers and over 40,000 people vaccinated, I think that is incredible. And so thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything that you're doing for our community and beyond, of course. I think the work is very impactful, and that's why it's very fitting that you received that special commendation today. So that, unfortunately, makes me even more emotional because now we're reaching the end of our award ceremony. However, we do have more performances in store for you and a few more speeches. So the next performer is another one I'm very excited to announce because we went to school together in the London Borough of Barnet, the Henrietta Barnet School. And her name is Shritama Mukherjee. She is currently studying medicine at UCL, but she's a professional Kathak dancer. So let's check out her dance. I look up to her in awe, and if you see this dance, you'll find out why. mean, wasn't that just stunning? How many spins did she do? It was incredible. I think she needs a round of applause for every spin that she did, and even then it wouldn't be enough. So Shritama, Siddiq, Seb, thanks to all of you, of course. I think that's just a snippet of the talent and the beauty of Barnet, this wonderful borough that we are here to celebrate today. So thank you to all of our speakers and congratulations to our finalists and our overall winners. We, of course, received an amazing number of nominations and the judges had quite a challenging task of shortlisting. So I want to take a minute of thanks to all the nominees who you will soon be seeing on your screen. So thank you for all the vital work that you are doing to uphold the values of our borough. And I think let's give them all another big round of applause. Everyone that's been nominated. It has been absolutely fantastic to be introduced to so much inspirational work and to get a glimpse at the diverse and rich social action happening in our borough. On behalf of the Barnet Multi-Faith Forum, I look forward to developing a relationship with you all, and hopefully through this initiative we can create a platform for collaboration and sharing of ideas and practice. I'm now going to hand over to Siobhan from the Faith and Belief Forum for our vote of thanks.
Thank you, Profa. Good evening, everyone. My name's Siobhan. I'm from the communities team at the Faith and Belief Forum. It's been such a pleasure being with you here tonight and hearing about all of the fantastic work happening in the borough. So on behalf of the Faith and Belief Forum, huge congratulations to all winners and thank you for the essential work that you do. It's been a pleasure for us to work with the Barnet Multi-Faith Forum and Middlesex University on this brilliant event. And on behalf of all of us, we have a few thank yous to people who've been integral to making this event happen. So firstly, the Barnet Faith and Belief Community Awards would not have been possible without the continued support and guidance of the Planning Committee, which was made up of representatives from Barnet Multi-Faith Forum and staff from Middlesex University. So huge thanks to everyone who was part of that group. Thank you also to the judging panel who had the difficult task of assessing the nominations and choosing tonight's winners. Thank you, judging panel, for your work. Thank you again to our wonderful performers this evening and to the Baha'i community of Barnet and Adam Cohen for providing some musical accompaniment for this event. We are very grateful for the support of Her Majesty's Lord Lieutenant of Greater London's Council on Faith, and a huge thank you to our generous sponsors of tonight's event, Dangoor Education and the Barnet Group. And finally, huge thank you to Proper for her expert hosting this evening. You've done a brilliant job and I'm sure we really appreciate the warm welcome you've given everybody. So I'd like to invite everyone in the audience to please invite me in giving a round of applause to all those people who made tonight possible. And back over to you, Proper.
Thank you, Siobhan. That's very touching and a nice surprise, I suppose. I have to say a big thank you to the whole team, to the Faith and Belief Forum, to the Barnet Multi-Faith Forum, Middlesex University, Dangoor Education, Barnet Group, lots of other people that I need to thank and probably I don't want to miss anyone else. So big thank you to everyone who's joined today, those who wanted to join but couldn't join, everyone who's been supporting us. We really do appreciate it. So we are very grateful for the support of Her Majesty's Lord Lieutenant of Greater London's Faith Council for their generous support of our event today. Barnet is all about, and I think after watching that video I don't think I'll ever want to leave Barnet. I've spent all my life here, I might as well stay forever. What do you say? It's such a beautiful place and it's been such a pleasure hosting for you today. Many of you in the chat are asking about the breakout groups, so that is what we aim to open now. So you're free to mingle, free to socialise and to meet some other wonderful citizens of Barnet. Thank you very much and good evening.